top consideration?
He is. He's a great guy, great senator, and doing a wonderful job. And he's certainly somebody we think about. He's a good man.
Gotcha. And as far as Burr and McCrory, they're both here with you today.
Right.
Do you envision any role for either of them within your administration going down the line?
Well, they've done very good jobs. They really are liked by the people of North Carolina. I like them personally, both of them, very much so. And we'll see what happens. Certainly, it would be something I'd consider. We have plenty of applicants for plenty of jobs. That's one thing you know about the president. There are a lot of people looking to do work, and we need great people, and they are certainly great people.
Gotcha. And I wanted to kind of focus on North Carolina issues. Okay. We heard, as you probably know, NBA All-Star Game decision to move it to Charlotte. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I like the states making that decision, so they'll work something out. I'm sure they're going to work something out. You don't like to lose a lot of your business, but at the same time, they have to stick to their principles, and I'm sure that they'll be able to work something where everybody's going to be satisfied.
And they did roll back some of the provisions of House Bill 2, making it allowed to sue at the state level. Do you think that's gone far enough, or do you think there's still room to go forward?
Yeah, they're working on it. I like that as state level, and I think that they're going to work. You have a lot of good people in this state in terms of representatives, and they'll work something out. I think that'll be fine.
Gotcha. And it's no secret, I've just based on hearing you these last couple of days, that one of your big strategies is to attract Sanders supporters, particularly to the Trump campaign.
Right.
Given that Sanders has, despite all that's happened, you call it a rigged system as well, do you what's the reason that you think Sanders supporters should come to your side, given that Sanders is still, regardless of all that's happening, telling those supporters to go to Clinton?
Well, it's a rigged system, and I think he's lost a lot of his energy. He's lost a lot of his mojo. I don't know. He seems to have given up, which is amazing because it looked like he would never give up. And now you have thousands of his people screaming. I just looked at it in Philadelphia. I just saw it. Thousands and thousands of people are screaming and going wild. They may end up dumping him and going with somebody else. But it just seems all of that work, all of that effort for so long a period of time, all of the money and energy spent, and then at the end, instead of backing his principle, he just gave up. So I'm very surprised by that. But those people haven't given up. And Hillary Clinton has bad judgment. She should have never picked the man she picked for vice president because, as you know, Tim Kaine has been a big tax raiser. He raised taxes $4 billion in his first week as governor of Virginia. You know, when he raised those taxes, he raised $4 billion in his first little short period in office.
So who would you have gone with instead?
Well, I would have gone probably, in terms, if I were a Democrat, I would have probably gone with somebody that was a little bit toward a big group of people that...
Like an Elizabeth Warren or something?
I wouldn't have used her. No, I think she's terrible. She's a lousy... No, honestly, she's a terrible senator. She's done a terrible job. She's passed nothing. I mean, she's got a loud mouth. That's about all she's got going. But so I wouldn't use her. But there are other people. But Kaine was about the worst. Plus, you know, he's big for having Syrians come in tremendous numbers, even bigger than Hillary. She wants them to pour into the country. He wants more than she wants. And I've had it, and you've had it, and most people have had it. And I can tell you the people of North Carolina have had it because you look at what's going on in Germany and all these countries with the knife attacks and the rifles and the bombs going off. I mean, it's ridiculous. So we don't know anything about these people. We don't know where they're from. There's no paperwork. And I think what's going on, honestly, is crazy.
Well, going back to the original one, why should Sanders supporters go towards you, given that Sanders has said, go to Hillary Clinton? Why shouldn't they just follow in the leader's footsteps?
He's a member of the party. Essentially, he's a member, although a lot of people even dispute that. But he's got to say that. I'm surprised he's saying it. I'm surprised he's not continuing to go forward, actually. But he's given up. He's really given up. We have one issue that's very similar, and that's trade. He and I are similar in trade. The difference is I can do something about it. I'm going to bring jobs back to North Carolina and all the places who have been just ripped. You look at statistically what's happened in North Carolina, it's incredible. What's happened to the other states in this country. I mean, you go up to New England, it's unbelievable. New York State, Pennsylvania, it's crazy. So I can bring them back, I can do something, but we do agree on one thing, and that's trade. That the trade agreements we have are one-sided agreements for other countries, and it's disgraceful.
And I guess going towards some of your main issues, you've been very, very passionate about protecting law enforcement, especially in the wake of the Dallas shootings.
Very much so.
And you've even said in past rallies that law enforcement officials might be the most mistreated group in America.
And misunderstood.
And misunderstood. But do you think body cam dashboard camera should be public record, non-public record?
I think it's okay. I think that individual departments will make that decision, but I think it's not a bad idea. And
to make
frankly,
them public record?
to make them, well, to use them.
Okay.
I don't know about making a public record, but I can tell you to use them because a lot of people are all of a sudden being found to be innocent in terms of law enforcement. Look, I'm a big law and order person, very big. And I'm a big believer in the police of this country. With that, they have to be vigilant, they have to be careful, they have to be compassionate. But I'm a big believer in the police of this country, and it's horrible when people are going around shooting our policemen and policewomen. That's no good.
And for you, college debt, college education, that's a big issue in North Carolina.
Big issue.
How would you address the issue of college
We're
debt?
going to come out with a plan. We're going to help these young people that are choking with college debt, and they're also choking with something else. They graduate and they can't get jobs. You can't get jobs. It's a big issue. We're going to take care of that issue. We're going to come up with a plan. We're very much into it. I'm so into it because I tell you, more than almost any question, I meet with young people. That's what they want to know. They borrowed tremendous amounts of money to go through college. And you know, the biggest problem is they can't get a job on top of everything else. So they're choking in debt, they can't get a job. We're going to take care of them.
So what would be your specific plan to
We're going to come
that?
out with it over the next 4 weeks. It's going to be something I think that'll make a lot of people very happy.
Gotcha. And I just had one final question, if I may, for you, Mr. Trump. Going into the general election, you've seen a rise in your poll numbers, especially today, a big day. What do you think your message is for voters who are kind of seeing you and Ms. Clinton as the lesser of two evils? How do you go and try and mobilize support with kind of this general frustration going into the general election?
Well, I don't think there's frustration on behalf of Republicans because we really came together. That was an amazing convention we had. We really came together. And with us, it's very simple. It's called Make America Great Again. And I'll add to it, Make America Safe Again, because we're going to make America safe. But we're going to build up our military. We're going to have strong borders. People can come in, but they have to come in legally. But we're going to make America great again, and that's what my message is, and it has been right from the beginning, and I think that's why we're doing so well.
Still a temporary ban on Muslims? Sticking with
We're
that?
going to make sure that territories where there's lots of problems, they're not coming into this country. People are not coming into this country from territories where there's lots of problems.
Well, thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
time,
Thank
Mr.
you very
Trump. I
much.
really appreciate it.
Have a good time.
Sorry.